For centuries, Alderaan stood as a beacon of hope in the Republic. The Empire came.
I have chosen to test this station's destructive power on your home planet of Alderaan.
Peace while you suffer. The Emperor drowns you in black waters.
He wants me to be Darth Revan again. Serve him as I did centuries ago. He made me a Sith Lord and named me Darth Revan.
The Force does not control you. You saved Ugantia using something you thought was important. But your motives are still aligned with the Jedi Code.
To arms, men! Defend the throne!
Anakin Skywalker was weak. I destroyed him. He was weak and foolish like his father. So I destroyed him.
Master Windu, you have fought gallantly. Worthy of recognition in the archives of the Jedi. It is finished.
To them it is.
I have been waiting for you. Is it true that he is the chosen one?
It's Alex,
And it's me, Harrison.
and we are doing something again a little bit different. It seems to be our running thing. We don't seem to keep to the usual shebang anymore. But as everyone's probably well aware, Solo Star Wars teaser trailer dropped today, and then the full-length teaser, if you're in the UK, at some point Monday morning. So, thoughts?
Whoa.
Primarily.
Blown away.
Primarily. So I've already done 2 review videos, which weren't necessarily one for the smaller one and one for the longer one. It was just one for the lot, and then it was like, ooh, I noticed stuff afterwards. I'm gonna do another one. So I may as well talk about some of the stuff that I've noticed and started speculating on. I noticed that in the shot of Han Solo at the very beginning of the second teaser trailer, where he's on his riding his personal speeder, you can see the golden dice on the windshield. So at least we're going to get more screen time with those.
Golden dice all the way.
Hopefully the significance of those will be explained. And also the shot with what looks like a more bulky A-wing flying away from almost like a planetary explosion, I speculated on being the new front for the Millennium Falcon, because it's exactly the right shape, and it almost looks like it's got scaffolding underneath it. So go on, throw out some ideas.
Well, there's a cool looking droid that looks like a really awesome one from Power Rangers.
Yeah, people have
cool.
speculated him as being a droid known as Bollocks, and then we've got the if it is him, he came with a droid that was encased inside his stomach known as Blue Max.
Nice.
Which was just a blue cube, but it was sentient.
It's nice to see the Falcon so fresh looking.
I know.
Not a pile of bulk.
Yeah, it's
Flying
fresh off
aside.
the assembly line. And naturally, once again, Chewbacca just doesn't seem to age. You can pass for episode 7 Chewbacca.
Man out of time.
We do actually get a shot of Twi'leks in the first Star Wars teaser trailer. Lots of people were complaining throughout Star Wars 7 and 8 that we didn't have any original aliens, or not many. So we've got some Twi'leks back.
Well, you got to go to the right places, ain't you?
There you go. I only know this because I wrote that entire paragraph thing. Yeah, that seems to be like the most popular thing at the moment for our page, is the Twi'lek post.
Yeah.
But that's fair enough. What did you think about Han Solo's acting? Because when I say Han Solo's acting, the actor who's playing Han Solo in this.
I don't think he's been in anything else yet.
Fair
I
enough.
think this is his first film. He seems to do alright.
Lots of people say that his acting's a bit off, and I mean he has quite a role to live up to, and I can see where they're coming from. But there was, and again, the scene where he's in the speeder and I guess not talking. Those facial expressions that he gives are very Han Solo.
Yeah.
So I was definitely very impressed with that. And the casting choice for Lando is top notch as well. So all very, very happy with that.
He's been in a lot of small productions. The new guy who Alden Ehrenreich. So he's been in a few things.
Yeah.
Even Hail Caesar's quite a noticeable one, but nothing major looking. So
Fair enough. Well, much like some of the cast of Rogue One, this could be like they're making.
Yeah, hopefully this
They're
is
making-
dive into the world of film.
There we go. Because I didn't realize until I'd seen the film and then went to go and see the film again that Cassian is in Elysium. That was just quite cool. I'm guessing that film didn't really do much for him, but lots of people weren't happy with that
I mean,
film.
Elysium's a really cool film.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down with it. I've really enjoyed it, but lots of people weren't as fond.
There's quite a couple of big actresses and actors in this film as well. I didn't realise were in it. Like the Dragon Queen.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't know she was in it until like today. Or Woody Harrelson. I didn't know he was in it either. So that's pretty cool.
So, do you have any early thoughts on plotline?
Oh, I think he's going to get kicked out of the Imperial Academy. That's definitely a giveaway.
Yeah.
And we're putting together a crew. I imagine might be a Kessel Run race team.
Fair play.
That's quite a prominent Han Solo background.
Did you notice that's kind of like the catchphrase of 2017 and 18? We're putting together a team, or we're putting together a crew.
Hashtag Avengers.
Hashtag everything ever.
Hashtag Justice League.
It's but now we've even got in Star Wars, and someone's already made the connection between Star Wars, Indiana Jones, and Guardians of the Galaxy, which what they reckon this film's starting to look a bit like, which is fair enough. It's a badass combination.
Exactly. I mean, it's like, Star Wars, Star Guardians of the Lost Ark or something, isn't it?
Yeah.
So cheesy.
Yeah. So I'm still speculating on my theory about Vader being in this and the significance of his role in it.
I don't know if he'll have a mention, because
I think he's been officially announced, to be fair.
If this is like soon after Revenge of the Sith, as I think it is, then he'll be busy mopping up Jedi that are running around, isn't he? So
okay, but if Solo has a big part to play, I mean, it's clearly important enough for them to send an entire Imperial Star Destroyer after.
That TIE Fighter looked a bit older, like different than a normal one.
Yeah, that was the one I was talking about, because it has a secondary gun that's mounted on that smaller pod.
Let's go and find that picture of all the TIE Fighters again. That's some good stuff.
But yeah, so my theory being that the female character that we see in these trailers, she's going to get axed off, if not by the Empire, by Vader directly. And then that gives Han Solo more of a reason to act the way that he did in Cloud City when he confronts Vader. Just to start blasting away. That would make more sense if he had a personal issue with Vader, other than just this is the image of darkness that the galaxy's been slowly fed over time.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. There could be more of a background on why. You're right, yeah. Or it could be that Darth Vader kills off a lot of this team that's assembled. Perhaps there might be more than one ship in this team. That doesn't really seem apparent now. There might be at a later point.
Yeah, I mean, apparently, according to one of the Lego sets, the gentleman, the elder guy that you see who says, "I'm putting together a team," he's apparently meant to be Han Solo's mentor. So, yeah, there's definitely some build up on Han Solo's back. I mean, this is the whole point of this film, more or less, is just to
flesh him out a bit.
Flesh him out a bit. And what a character to start fleshing out. We haven't seen any Boba Fett in either of these trailers, but then again, these are just teaser trailers.
I mean, he might not be in it, but there's got to be there's a strong dislike of each other.
One day, within these 40 years of Star Wars, we surely have to understand why it is that Boba Fett has such a fascination with Han Solo primarily. Because he goes to such efforts to catch him. I'm pretty sure it's not just the reward that's done that. Yeah, there must be a personal vendetta somewhere.
Maybe he just really doesn't like people that don't finish the job they're given.
Dropping the cargo at the first
in space.
the first sight of an Imperial boarding party, I think was what Jabba said.
Exactly so.
But so we've talked a lot about what we want to see in this film. What would you not want to see?
Honestly, I don't want another Mos Eisley's bar scene. It feels like they always go to these sort of Mos Eisley's tight bars where there's like music and entertainment, and then all of a sudden some sort of person connected to the Empire is suddenly there, It happened in Force Awakens. Happened in Return of the Jedi at the end. It's just like...
Wait, Return of the Jedi at the end?
Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I'm getting the films mixed up here. But yeah, I don't need a cantina style scene. Oh, and it happened in The Last Jedi as well. This is a bit of a casino more than a cantina, but same sort of busy.
But it does look like that we're at least going to get 2 of those environments anyway, because you see Han standing at one of them, and then the other one you see with the Twi'leks, this one here.
I mean, that looks more like a strip club more than anything.
Dude, she's singing.
Yeah, but you never know.
Just because they have Twi'leks there doesn't mean anything.
Really like the look of that guy who looks like he's wearing a Destiny helmet as well.
Oh, yeah. I made the connection with him, Revan and Kylo, that his eyepiece is very similar. I think I may have cut that out, though, of the trailer review, because I made it sound like it was an exact replica where it isn't. But it's very similar.
I want to speculate on that new TIE fighter we've seen as well. It looks like the Rapier gunboat version. Maybe a little bit thinner.
Because the cockpit is a lot smaller.
Yeah, they might have used some sort of inspiration.
Do we know what the Rapier actually does?
No idea. I mean,
okay.
Rapier being like a sword or a lance, I imagine it's like...
It just slices through enemy lines. Maybe it has a heavy cannon, but this one just looks like it has 1 or 2 blast points from...
It could be... It's not like a TIE Advance.
No.
But there are a couple of versions that are more than one pod.
Yeah, I mean, the TIE Bomber being one of them, but that's where they store either the secondary pilot that mans the gun or the bombs themselves.
Well, some inspiration of maybe an old design might be used.
Perhaps. I mean, they've this isn't the first time that we've had TIE prototypes added to original lore. Like, we've had it in Rebels as well with the shielded TIE fighters. So I dare say we'll have more cropping up with these kind of flashback films. So...
I mean, one of the droid that you said is Bollocks.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like it's got an R2-D2 style head. Like sort of 360-degree turn.
Yeah, but it's been kind of stuck on a very flimsy looking neck.
Putting K2SO and R2-D2 into one thing, but shrinking him a little.
I mean, it'll be interesting to see Han actually have an icy relationship with a droid, seeing as that's all we've ever seen him give before. Yeah. Because with R2, he gives no mind to, and with BB-8 he actively tells him to move out the way.
Maybe it's to do with this film. Maybe there's a strong connection that he has to that droid.
Yeah, and it's like, never again will I form an attachment to something that is essentially not human.
Like losing your first pet is never the same, really, isn't it?
Yeah, although from the trailer alone it looks like this droid has more of a connection to Lando than he does to Han.
I mean, hopefully as well we'll actually see the connection between him and Chewbacca as well. Not just, we met in a bar and now we're friends for life. There's got to be something there. Hopefully that's explained a little bit.
Yeah, because what we saw in Star Wars Rebels, I suppose when that episode comes out, it will be... So when this episode comes out, it'll be today. So within a podcast that will be releasing later this week, we watched the first 2 episodes of Rebels and we saw the... is it Kessel mining facility?
Yeah.
Yeah, and where the Wookiees are, and there are at least 1 or 2 shots in this trailer like that one there that looks a lot like the kind of dust plains of Kessel. So do you think they may do that where they show the team going to rescue Chewie from there? Or I think that was actually original canon. It was actually Chewie that went to go and rescue other Wookiees.
Yeah, it could be the case. I mean, we don't see him until that dusty plain planet, so maybe he's there, you're right.
Yeah.
And it would make sense for Chewbacca to either be an escaped Wookiee slave or a Wookiee freedom fighter type person that hopefully there's a connection there, like a bond, not just, I'll follow you for the sake of it. Across the galaxy multiple times.
No, hopefully they'll be clever enough to form more of a bond there, and hopefully that will make the death of Han Solo even more tragic. For the Force Awakens. So something else that I wanted to speculate on was just what period this film's going to be set.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Han Solo in
Episode 4 is aged significantly.
Pretty old, but that's just the actor, unfortunately. We don't know.
Yeah,
character's age.
Because I'm guessing you know about the supposed Easter egg in Revenge of the Sith, where you supposedly see the Falcon. I can't remember which shot it is, but it's one of the shots of that kind of dome. I think it's part of the Senate. There's a lot of little landing ports, and you see just a tiny little speck of the Falcon going into land.
Oh.
But obviously, with this new design, that could retcon that entire thing.
I mean, they're making this one look like the Mini Cooper hatchback version of the Millennium Falcon. Like, it's got a racing stripe for crying out loud.
It does, yes, and it's whitish grey.
So, I imagine over the years, as it gets beaten up a little, all these racing stripe parts are going to fade or fall off.
Or it just needs to be heavily modified, so...
It might even be a different Falcon by the time, like a completely different Corellian fighter, freighter by the time of A New Hope. Can't really tell yet, because it does look very different.
I mean, I'm feeling fairly confident about my prediction with the big A-Wing ship that looks like the front of the Falcon.
It looks kind of like a U-Wing as well.
Yeah. But all they'd have to do is remove that cockpit, and then you could slap that on the front. And it would then act as a cargo holder, which obviously the new Falcon is lacking.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you never see it used in the films, but it doesn't mean you can't see it used in this one.
It doesn't seem to have the... When you think of the Falcon, you've got the cockpit and the sensor dish. There's a big gap between the middle, isn't there?
Yeah.
That doesn't have that.
No, but that new adjustment could accommodate for that.
It could, yeah.
There's been some speculation thrown around, and I literally just watched this video, so I'm a bit rusty on the facts behind it, but that we may see Darth Maul crop up in this film, and it's because of his connection to a crime gang, which is meant to be associated in this film, or has at least been speculated that may crop up at some point. I don't know how I feel about seeing Maul's return again.
I don't think it's needed
again, because unless we're going to get a young boy of Dathomir standalone story, which I wouldn't mind, we don't need to see Maul ever again, as far as I'm concerned.
If this is before his involvement in Rebels, before he goes to Mandalore, it might be cool.
Well, it has to be. It has to be, because in Rebels, you know, I'm guessing you know what happens to him in Rebels. Yeah, he dies.
So,
and this time dead.
I mean, it could be before he joins the Death Watch. It might be slightly afterwards. You just don't know how it's really left.
Well, surely it has to be way afterwards, because he joins Death Watch in Clone Wars.
Oh yes, after.
So Rebels, he's on Malachor 5.
Yeah, never mind.
But we're also speculating on when all of that's set.
What I'm also trying to figure out is who the hell Paul Bettany is going to play, because he is in this film.
Okay, but I'm guessing we haven't seen him in any of the trailers.
I'm guessing he's either voicing something, or he may be that guy who looks like he's in Destiny and gone to the wrong place.
Alright, okay.
It's a masked character, you might not see his face.
He may actually be the droid, to be fair.
He might be.
Because I know that there has been a speculation on the actor who's going to play that droid. We could be getting potentially another K2, which I, again, wouldn't necessarily mind.
Alan Tudyk did a really good job as K2.
He did, yes. Right. I was
similar.
Very, very fond of him as K2.
I mean, that guy's done everything. I mean,
he has, yeah.
He even played a chicken in Moana that just walks and eats rocks. So
I actually recently watched Dark Side of the Moon, Transformers, and although I hate quite a lot of that film, his acting in it is one of the redeeming.
The storyline of that film is just awful. It's like, let's just go to different time periods, do what we want with the storyline.
I didn't. Whoa, Dark of the Moon.
Yeah, when they go to the moon and they see like the moon land.
Oh yeah.
Let's just relook at this again.
But no, he was definitely a redeeming factor in that. So with that shot that we've just seen there of the alien manning what looks like one of the turrets, I speculated in my trailer review that could have been Maz, because then we would get the explanation of why she has any kind of connection with Han in episode 7, 8, etc. But it turns out after further evaluation that alien has 4 hands.
Oh.
So,
she could have lost 2.
Yeah, that's also what I speculated, perhaps, because we don't know much about her race, or at least us as human beings don't. So
she might have tucked away her hands and sort of had them tucked in under a coat.
Or maybe she's just a race that's able to shed her hands, much like certain reptiles are able to lose limbs,
and
tails and appendages or whatever. But yeah, but but we don't know at the moment.
I mean, that could be another version
Version
like a
of
male creature
yeah.
of her race, and the females might have less.
Because we've
arms,
already
yeah.
seen 2 of her within Star Wars, and I'm guessing you remember where the other one was. That was in Rogue One. It was in Saw Gerrera's castle, and I think she or he's playing chess or something.
Oh yeah.
And it's just like, "Wah!" And then
Let the
shot
Wookiee
moves
win.
on. Oh yeah, I really hope we get to see. I don't know what the age rating for this film is. I mean, it looks kind of Rogue One
I
level
reckon it'll be a 12 or
of
15.
darkness. But even if we don't see it full on, I'd love for there to be some visual evidence to what Han tells 3PO in Episode 4 about Wookiees ripping people's arms out of their sockets when they lose.
Yeah, I mean, the Wookiees have got a temper, you know. So
They do, yeah, but so far we don't have any visual evidence to back that up, or at least not in new canon.
When they're Maz looking like creature,
Yeah.
I couldn't figure out what he's doing with the turret. It's like he's ripping off the window shields to then be like, oh, now I can see more. It's like, what are you doing, buddy?
Maybe it's just uncovering, like it's still fresh off the assembly line, just ripping off like
Perhaps.
the cover of the turret.
I'm thinking your prototype Millennium Falcon may get destroyed. And that's why he gets the Falcon.
Oh, sad face.
Maybe he loses his previous ship and it's like, oh, Lando, old buddy, I'll bet you for this ship. Because it might not be his yet, he might have still have not
Yeah, but then
won it. He might
that
be
new ship will then have to do the Kessel Run, otherwise that whole ship that did the Kessel Run in less than 12 parsecs won't apply.
Because we don't, as far as I can remember, it's not confirmed to have been the Millennium Falcon that does the Kessel Run with him. He's always talks about, doing the Kessel Run in less than 12 parsecs.
No, well, it is Ray who says, isn't this the ship that did the Kessel Run in less than 12 parsecs? Or 14 parsecs, because she gets it wrong.
Yeah, but Ray's funny. She's like a sand child. She doesn't know what's going on.
She is a sand child.
What's going on?
Who cares what her parents are? She just got shedded out of the sand one day. It's
Yeah.
just an Anakin all over
Like,
again. You don't need a father. You don't need a mother. It doesn't matter. You just...
You just grow up in some old dusty AT-AT left behind a long time ago.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if the Empire took more care of their stuff and they come and retrieved it? She'd have nowhere to live.
She would, but
Like,
to be
yeah.
fair, that AT-AT was from the time of the Empire, whereas the First Order regime was in full effect. They had all the stuff they needed. They didn't need any
Could
old
have
stuff.
melted it down for scrap or something.
They could have done, but they weren't as desperate as the Empire were.
Yeah, they somehow got a superpower amount of spaceships all of a sudden.
Yeah, I mean that's something else. I think there's a book. So many goddamn books, but there's a book that I need to get that this is the Journey to the Last Jedi. So hopefully that will explain, because it's a constant problem that I'm having where it's like, so there's no effect to consequence, or cause to consequence, where Starkiller Base was destroyed, but no one seems to care.
Yeah, I mean, it's the First Order. They've just got like massive, bigger ships than anything else.
Exactly, but it then makes that victory at the end of Episode 7 virtually meaningless. It's like when you cut the head off the Hydra for the first time, and then it's like, so 2 more took its place.
Yeah, it's like they have Super Star Destroyers bigger than Imperial ones, but they get destroyed really easily.
Yeah.
It's like, what's up with that? It's a Super Star Destroyer. It should be impossible to destroy with like a few bombers. But
Was that thing bigger than a Super?
It looked gigantic.
I don't think it was bigger than a Super.
Maybe not, but it looked massive.
It was definitely bigger than a regular destroyer.
Yeah, maybe it's like the go-between, like the missing link of Super Star Destroyers.
Yeah, it definitely fills in a gap somewhere.
I mean, the scale of it just looked gigantic from the angling and stuff, I suppose.
Yeah. So I don't know how far in we are. We're 22 minutes in. So is there anything that you personally would like to see in this film? I don't know if I've asked.
I would actually like to see him flying a TIE fighter or something like that.
Because
if he's kicked out of the academy for being too strong of will, like having a mind of his own sort of thing, then maybe it'd be interesting to see him do some reckless stuff.
Yeah.
As he quotes, I've been scamming people since I was like 10 years old. Maybe he tries to run like a sort of locker room scam and get money out of it, or if he's just like placing bets on people failing with other rookies.
It would
like that.
It would be nice to appreciate just how difficult it is to fly a TIE fighter, because Poe Dameron makes it look so ridiculously easy as he does everything else.
He's like, I'm the ace pilot, I can fly anything.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if I've had zero experience with it.
Try crashing a droid starship down into the middle of Coruscant with no experience. Pull that one off.
But yeah, it would be nice to kind of appreciate just how difficult that might be. But I mean, there's a lot that we could potentially get in this film, but we probably won't get all of it. I just like more screen time with Lando, to be fair, because we got very little in Empire. He was virtually at the end of the film, and then in Jedi he was kind of overshone by everyone else's story.
I mean, he had that cool Gamorrean guard looking costume, but he looked really out of place.
He did, yeah.
The Gamorrean guards aren't the green pig things.
I love how the camera focuses on him as he pulls down his mask, but it's like, we know.
So we know it's you, Lando. You're the only black guy in Star Wars. Pretty much.
It's not inconspicuous. It's not. But yeah, no, I've always loved Lando as a character, so I'm looking forward to find out a bit more about him.
It would be pretty cool to see Cloud City, but I don't know if it's established at this point.
Well, no, because he conned someone out of it.
I mean, like, does he build it up from the beginning? Like, is it small at first and he's expanded over time?
It's possibly small and expanded, but I think it does exist.
Yeah,
in some shape or form.
I mean, the size of it must be pretty hard to put together in a short ass space of time.
Yeah, although if we're going by First Order standards, anything's possible.
Anything's possible with extreme slave labour.
Yeah, I mean, and Wookiees and stuff.
That's got to be how they've done it. They've got to spread it along with a lot of labour.
I saw a video and I stupidly didn't click on it, but it said that Snoke's fleet or whatever were hiding in the dark regions of space. But it's like, well, why? Because they were attacking your base. You could have sent just three destroyers, and I'm pretty sure that small squad of 20 or so ships would have been eliminated in seconds.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous, really. Star Wars has it. They can hyperspace jump across massive distances in reduced time, but they never do. It's like the Rebel fleet could have just jumped away or sent more ships, assuming there are more to send. As long as there's just 4 ships left, surely. Like,
no.
The rebellion is massive. So...
Well, no, because we've already speculated on the kind of Avatar tie-in where they're just going to be like, oh, we made a call, we thought it wouldn't get answered, but alright, it got answered. Probably the wrong time.
I'm kind of hoping that from where we left off with the end of The Last Jedi, all of a sudden crap ton of rebel reinforcements just could be there like, oh, we got your call, sorry we're late kind of thing. Like,
yeah,
the Millennium Falcon might try and jump away and all of a sudden there's like Home 2 and Home 3 or something stupid like that. Like, who knows what the names are called, but why not Home 2?
I mean, we get so many new planets thrown at us now. I think it would just be nice to revisit some of the old planets in this new trilogy.
I mean, I'd like to go back to Endor just for sake of Endor was really cool.
Yeah.
And like, it might be a rebel base now. Who knows? They might keep a fleet to watch for like Imperial scavengers coming for Death Star parts or anything crazy like that.
I'd be interested to know what's going on with Coruscant at this point.
Yeah, because obviously Sidious is dead and it doesn't seem like Snoke had much of a presence there.
It was the Imperial capital for quite a while, so what's going on?
Did everyone just go underground to the Underhive and start just doing drinking in the little like bars and stuff maybe?
I guess, because there's nothing else that is apparent that's been happening.
I mean, the Jedi Temple's long gone.
No, Jedi Temple's still there.
Yeah, but like, who's going to be in there?
Well, yeah, no one's going to be in there, but the Jedi Temple was left there because you see it in the re-edit of Star Wars Episode 6.
Who knows? It might just be gathering cobwebs.
I think I actually wrote that into my novel, but we probably won't see that for a while.
Well, you could do like a Force Unleashed kind of sneak into the temple.
No, I wrote. It was when my character goes off solo and he goes down to a Coruscant market.
Goes off solo.
There we go. And he sees the Jedi Temple and remembers his training way back when because he was an Old Republic Jedi. But then, obviously, he's been out in stasis for hundreds and hundreds of years. He realizes that the Empire has left it intact just to show that they've conquered the Jedi. And as a reminder of what once was, but what is now.
Yeah, step out of line, get wiped out, kind of.
Yeah,
maybe.
Because if the Jedi Temple wasn't there and there was no reminder of the past, people would forget. And it's so obvious now how quickly people forget, because from the space of Star Wars Episode 6, where we had at least one Jedi and the entire rebellion, to the space to 30 years down the line to Episode 7, everything's myth.
I mean, the galaxy's a big place as well, though, isn't it?
It is, yes, but this is the Death Star was a big thing, and a lot of people knew about it. I mean,
Yeah.
Jakku supposedly isn't that far away from the core planets.
I mean, in the Aftermath series, where it's kind of fresh news, people are talking about it quite far away, so yeah, I suppose so.
It seems bizarre how it's just suddenly legend after
Right.
such a short spot, like not even a lifetime.
Yeah, I mean, it's been broadcast across the galaxy saying
Yeah.
the was destroyed.
Yeah, it's not
Forget it.
it's not just Rey. It's like Finn, someone who works for a core faction. It's like,
Yeah, I mean, they must bring there must be a history lesson in your
yeah.
training.
Even if it's one that's obstructed, like if you go to certain countries where they're like, oh, history books blank for 30 years.
I mean,
Well, maybe that's what they did. They were like, oh, we lost. Let's
Maybe.
not. Oh, there's no
yeah,
history.
maybe they don't want people to think, oh, we're very, very loosely previously associated to the Empire.
Mm,
Let's just do like a media blackout on our past defeats. Maybe they did that.
maybe
Maybe they did more. Obviously, what they did might be more horrifying. That it was overshadowed by
Yeah.
the new
That's a good
Death
point.
Star. Because from what I know, the new Death Star didn't actually get to destroy any planets this time.
No. Well, we
It's
just
gone
saw
so
it take out
quickly,
quite a few
so-
ships, but.
It might have done. There might have been some smaller actions that.
Well,
Really
are we
not.
sure? Because as far as we're aware, the first time it fired was when the Emperor personally ordered it to be so.
Yeah, and it could be like the first Death Star where they do a couple of non-disclosed, get rid of some pesky bastard targets. You know, like Jeddah City.
Yeah, yeah, fair play. Because
I mean-
that did kind of retcon itself, where Tarkin, I can't remember his exact line, but it was along the line of witness I feels like first
the-
firing or
Yeah,
something.
the full force of your project or something like that. Yeah.
But it suggested in some shape or form that this was the first firing of the Death Star, where obviously we had two planet firings, not necessarily on the same kind of destruction level, but close.
Well, it was a single reactor ignition,
A
wasn't
single reactor ignition, as they like to make so very, very
it? You know,
apparent
fire when ready.
when ready. But yeah, we should probably finish up this podcast because I think we've evaluated this trailer to sobs.
We're not even talking about Australia anymore.
we deviated
We're talking
a,
about
li-
Death Stars.
a little bit.
Yeah.
But so thank you very much for listening to State of the Galaxy. Where are we now? Well, I don't even know if we're going to number this one because
I
we've
don't
already done
think we
number
should.
14. This is just State of the Galaxy solo
You may like when ready.
when ready. So yeah, whether you are Sith or Jedi, Rebellion or Empire, First Order or Resistance, Sand Person
Or bounty hunter.
or Bounty Hunter or Mandalorian.
Filthy sand person.
May the Force be with you. Have a very good day wherever you are, and we'll see you later on this week for for episode 14.
Don't forget to leave us a like or a comment.
Look at what?
Subscribe and do the little bell.
Search your feelings. You know it to be the right thing to do,
Yeah.
or something. Right.
You will leave a comment.
See you guys later.